Hello! So there's something I think you should know about me if we're going to continue being friends. I am incredibly competitive. There is one particular aspect of my life in which I am the most competitive. Board games. I love board games. I remember being good or being let win. Either way, I feel very confident in myself when I'm playing board games, to the point of arrogance. My favorites growing up were probably Monopoly and Risk, and I was just obsessed with winning and like collecting the most. I had to buy every single hotel on every property that I owned. I had to have the most money at the end of the game. If I was interested in something and if I had a goal, I did it. Obsessively. I was a crazy child. Crazy. It shaped who I am today. So sometimes you can't always find someone who wants to play a board game with you exactly when you want to, so you're forced to play with imaginary friends. I have very vivid memories of sitting on my bedroom floor when I was about 8 or 9 years old, playing Monopoly with 3 of my stuffed animals, arranging them around the board and like dividing up the money. And I would play everyone's turn, but I would play it very fairly. Just because I was the only human in the game didn't mean that I had the advantage. Anyway, playing board games by yourself isn't so bad when it's something like Monopoly where you can take turns and play independently for each person, but when you're playing Cluedo, known as Clue in America, it's not so good. I also really love the whole ceremonial aspect to playing a board game. You get the box out, you get the board out, you get the cards out, you divide up the money or whatever you start with in the game. You get the dice out, you have to make sure you have the dice, everyone needs a pencil. It seems like such a strange concept that, you know, we like playing these games and you understand the rules after you played it a couple of times and, you know, you don't want to lose the pieces. Everything has their place inside the box. Maybe that's a strange thing to enjoy, but I always really liked that about board games. So one game that my parents raised me to love, specifically my mother, was Trivial Pursuit. I remember the day when I got my first Trivial Pursuit answer. I must have been about 5 or 6 years old and my sister was maybe a year or 2 older than me. So we weren't exactly the best teammates. And a lot of the questions are about history and science, and when you're 5 years old you don't know much about history and science. But what you do know about is fairy tales. So when the fairy tale question came up, I knew the answer. I knew what kind of flower proved true love. I'd seen enough movies and heard enough bedtime stories to get that answer right, and it was a rose, and I don't know if I have felt that proud of myself to this day. So when I was asked to make a video talking about Trivial Pursuit, you can bet I jumped at the chance. I love Trivial Pursuit. I love trivia. I love getting things right. I love the self-reward. I was sent the new version of Trivial Pursuit, which is called Bet You Know It. So what's new about this version of the game is that you bet on the answers that you think your friends know or don't know. As a betting lady and a lady who likes collecting the most tokens, yeah, I like the sound of this. So the reason I'm talking about the new version of Trivial Pursuit is because I am part of the new Trivial Pursuit YouTube game, You versus YouTube. So in order to participate in this experiment, I had a phone call in which I had to answer 20 Trivial Pursuit questions. I don't know if I'm particularly proud of all of the subject matter that I know trivia about, but I feel pretty good about how many answers I got. I had a lot of fun participating in the campaign, and I hope some of you guys go over and see how well you think you know me. Or know what I know. I wonder if any of you know me better than I know myself. I guess we'll see. Bye!